Before you go about creating any flows or templates within Pendula, you'll firstly need to create a related object. A related object points Pendula to the relevant recipient information within your data source. In other words, it lets Pendula know which email address or mobile phone number to send to once a flow has been triggered. A related object also provides Pendula with the context of your flow. In other words, the data being used in your flow and the location or object in which that data resides. Each time you want to create a flow based on data residing on a different object or ascending to different recipient fields, you'll need to create a new related object to cater for how this is mapped within your data source. Once this has been created, you can then repurpose it for similar flows. Firstly, you'll want to confirm what you are going to use your related object for, as this will inform which object in your data structure it will be based on. We call this object your root or triggering object. The root object will determine a few things, such as which fields you can reference within your flow criteria, which merge fields you can use within your template, and which fields Pendula can recheck or update within a flow. Take an appointment reminder, for example. All of the information regarding an appointment with a customer resides on this appointment object, including who will be attending, the location, and the date time of the appointment. For this reason, the related object for an appointment would be based on this appointment object. Thinking about what information a flow might need is a really good exercise, as it helps ensure you have everything in place within your data source first, before you start trying to configure anything within Pendula. Once you have established what your related object will be used for, you need to confirm who should receive any communication as a result of this. To do so, you need to point Pendula to the recipient data related to the object you are building your related object around. Now, by the recipient data, we mean an email address and/or a mobile phone field. This data needs to have a one-to-one relationship with your root object. In other words, it needs to exist via a lookup relationship or as fields on the root object itself. On this appointment object, for example, there are two contact lookup fields, one linking the appointment to the customer and one linking to a staff member. If the purpose of your related object is to send reminders to the customer attending the appointment, you'll want to point your related object to the recipient data of this customer lookup field. If you are creating a related object to send notifications to your staff member, however, you would map Pendula to the recipient data of the staff member lookup field instead. Once you have an understanding of what your related object will be used for and who it is mapped to, it's time to create your related object. Firstly, log into your Pendula tenant and navigate to the settings screen. Within settings, select related objects. From here, you can view any existing related objects as well as create new ones. To add a new one, firstly select your data integration from the data source dropdown. Then select the root object your related object will be based on. If your recipient exists as a standard contact lookup field on your triggering object, you can select this field from the contact field dropdown. This basically means Pendula will automatically map and send to the standard email and mobile phone fields of this contact. For any other scenarios, you'll need to point Pendula to the right recipient fields by specifying advanced recipient fields, namely an ID, email, and mobile phone field. The ID field maps Pendula to the record ID field of your recipient record, and if entered will then be visible on experience and message records, which is really helpful when you are trying to see which particular records have been included in a flow. For Salesforce users, this ID will also help determine where to record activity history of any outbound communication triggered by a flow. The email field is where a flow using this related object will send any outbound email communication. Similarly, the mobile phone field is where a flow using this related object will send any outbound SMS communication. To map Pendula to the right fields, you can either enter the exact API name of that field, or alternatively, click this icon to search for and select the field easily. Pendula allows you to traverse and map to other objects related to your root object. If a one-to-one or lookup relationship exists, it will be indicated by this arrow, meaning you can access fields on this object as well and select them as your advanced recipient fields. Once you've mapped your related object to the correct fields, make sure you provide a name which clearly conveys the purpose of your related object. Finally, click Save. Now that you have created a related object, you're ready to start using this in any new templates and flows. Additional information on how to create related objects, including how to add simple related objects such as contacts and leads within Salesforce, can be found in the Related Objects article within our Help Center. For more helpful information, head over to help.pendula.com.